Good morning, everyone. Looks like we now have over 100 attendees. Please check your sound as we start the presentation. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Today, we are focusing on dates and deadlines specific to the recruiting and hiring activities. So welcome everyone to this webinar. We have several individuals on the line that are presenters that will be taking different portions of this webinar. So as I've stated, my name is Tracy Plowski, and I'm in the HR Payroll Business Advocate for the Enterprise Project. And I'll ask the other individuals to share their name.
Good morning, my name is MollyDriscoll, and I'm with Talent Acquisition.
Good morning, this is Deb Miller, and I am with HR Connection.
Hello, this is Tammy Ament. I'm with the Enterprise Project and lead for Recruit to Hire.
Hi, I'm Matt DeLucas. I'm with the Enterprise Project and Talent Acquisition.
And good morning, everyone. My name is William Ashley. I'm also on the Enterprise Project, and I lead our communications and engagement teams.
Great, thank you all. I do just have a few housekeeping items. So as I stated today, we are focusing on the dates and deadlines specific to the recruiting and hiring activities. There are definitely other HR and payroll dates and deadlines that are available on our Workday calendar on the Enterprise Project's website. And we will continue to place important dates and deadlines there. But just wanted to ensure that everyone was aware for today, we are focusing on those important dates related to recruiting and hiring. We do have folks muted due to the amount of people who may be on the call today. So please use the chat feature for questions that you may have throughout this meeting, and I will be monitoring that. This meeting is being recorded, and it will be shared with the HR and payroll community as soon as we can finalize that recording. And I also wanted to note that we really do understand that the HR community and all of you on the call may have other pressing priorities at this time due to the response we are having due to the coronavirus. So please, if you do need to drop off the call, please do, as we will have this meeting recorded and shared as quickly as possible. So we did want to at least give you that out to know that there may be other pressing priorities that you have to attend to at this time. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to MollyDriscoll.
Thanks, Tracy. Good morning, everyone. Again, thanks for your time this morning. Clearly, as Tracy said, understanding that there are many other pressing things happening, but we appreciate you spending the time with us today. Before we kick it off and get into the real details of the recruitment plan, I just wanted to give you a little background, context, highlight kind of where we've been and how we got to where we are today. So the Recruit to Hire Enterprise team, the talent acquisition team, and many others have spent countless hours strategizing, analyzing, testing, and planning for our cutover plans. And the cutover plan is the time when, it's a period when PeopleSoft goes down and Workday goes live. We realize we're launching during our busiest season. So as we planned for this time, we've been anchored to our guiding principles, which are to ensure the best possible employee and candidate experience while causing minimal disruption to the business and all of you. The plan you'll see today reflects the decisions made, which we felt best aligned with these principles. I want to share a little history of how we got here. So about a month ago, we realized that some of what we built into our plan was absolutely not going to be feasible. Therefore, we quickly worked together to update the plan. Please know, again, we spent a great deal of time analyzing data and engaged in many conversations with leaders and others across the university. We looked at things like average time to fill as usually 45 days, which has allowed us to back into some of the final dates that you'll see shared today. While the project team initially declared no future dated transactions, we realized that that would not be possible in the recruit to hire space. As you listen to the dates and plan that are shared, please remember we are trying to minimize the number of future dated transactions. We, the talent acquisition team, will have a 4 to 6 hour time period sometime on June 20th or June 21st to manually key in all of the transactions. And we know or can estimate that each transaction will take about 20 to 25 minutes. So as I pause, and I'm sure many of you are calculating this in your minds right now, you can see why we're asking to minimize to the best of your ability, all future dated transactions. In addition, we spent hours analyzing past year's hire data, and we have identified a few critical roles that will have start dates outside of what we communicate today. Exceptions have been approved by ESG and senior leaders, and we are anticipating no additional exceptions. Before I hand this over to Deb, I just want to again remind you that we developed this plan based on the guiding principles I just mentioned. We are finalizing a list of FAQs and other materials, which we will distribute to all of you very shortly. Please know we do not have all of the answers today, and we're working diligently to get you as much information as possible. We will have time for all of your questions at the end, and know that your questions will really be taken into consideration as we continue to build our FAQs. So with this, I'm going to hand it over to Deb, who's going to share with you a little more details.
Thank you, Molly. Next, we're going to look at a couple of calendar slides that's going to assist everyone in planning their recruitment and hiring activities. So here's the month of May. We've added a couple of April dates to the front of it, and you'll notice that April 29th date. Please note that that is on a Wednesday. And what has occurred for several years now is the deadline for compensation and classification to approve position descriptions and job postings. So if you look at the bubble to the left, you will see that we have noted this there, that it is indeed the very last time that we will be doing this in PeopleSoft. So what does that mean? All of us have different deadlines leading into that Wednesday date. I know from talking to service center managers here in the last couple of weeks that many units and colleges have a 10-day business lead time to submit HRAs for transactions. I also know that there are smaller departments and units that may not have a service center. And so if one of their leaders came to them on Wednesday the 29th and said, I need to post this position, that they could absolutely turn it around and meet those deadlines. So we really need for each of you to work with leadership in your service centers and your current processes to prepare for this date and know what that lead-in time is for each of you in order to be able to make that date. So you can see the May 4th bubble is actually on Monday, and that will be the last time that the Wexner Medical Center will post on the PeopleSoft site. And also then the bubble to the right, which is a Saturday, will be the last time that campus will post to the PeopleSoft system, or excuse me, the People Admin system, that it goes out on Saturday morning. But I also want to point out on that April 29th bubble that this does not stop recruiting and hiring activities. They will definitely continue, but it will be the last time that we post on both of those systems. The next major date to note is Friday, May 29th. This has been determined as the final date to approve in HR Connection and Green Action, because on Saturday at midnight, it will become a read-only system. So again, what does that mean for all of you? All units and colleges have their own submission and approval dates. So you will need to be very planful if you have that 10-day, 2-day, same day, whatever it might be, in order to make sure that not only have your HRAs been submitted, but that they are also final approved for processing. We also know that many units and colleges have ad hoc approvers, and sometimes that is a lengthy process with 3 or 4 approvers to make sure that they get into the system and take care of that action. So that is the date, that is the deadline, and so please be sure that you work within your normal processes to get your HRAs in and final approved. Matt, I'll turn it over to you for that other May 29th bubble there.
Sure. So the last day for posting at the Wexner Medical Center will be, I'm sorry, for medical center applicants to apply will be May 29th via their existing PeopleSoft process. Now on the university side, we use People Admin, and that will remain open for applicant collecting during this transition time. So during these the weeks of June, you're about to see People Admin will be open and collecting applicants so we can continue our recruiting processes.
Great, thank you, Matt. So those are the deadlines to get the entries into PeopleSoft, People Admin, and HRA. Will now move on to June, in which we will be looking at dates for employees to start. So Monday, June 8th, this will be the last day for employees to start or transfer before Workday goes live. So this would be the effective date for letters in regards to beginning or transferring employees. We will also then jump down on that left-hand side and look at June 29th. This will be the first day to date those letters for employees to start or transfer when Workday goes live. So 8th is last day before, and I'm sorry, the 29th is the first day after we're up and going on Workday. And we'll look on the right-hand side, payroll processing then on the 9th. It is also the last day for the Wexner Medical Center for recruiting activities to be entered into PeopleSoft. We've also noted a pay calculation on June 3rd for the pay slips will appear for biweekly in Workday. Of course, the monthly pay will be there on June 30th. But it will not be in Workday quite yet. You will see the monthly pay in Compass, and July 31st will be the first time that monthly pay will be visible in Workday. So again, to review, hire dates can be set all the way through June 8th and will not begin again then until the 29th. So with that, Molly, I'll go ahead and pass it back to you.
Great, thank you, Deb. So again, just to reiterate quickly what these dates are. So recruiting and hiring is really business as usual, April 29th, as Deb mentioned. And then after April 29th, we want to continue things like interviews, offers. So really the recruitment and selection process will continue. And we want to make sure that you understand that both campus and medical center talent acquisition teams are here to help you and support you through this process. Answer any questions, guide you. We are working on some alternative things that we can, help support, ways we can help support you. But what this really does not mean is that, some of the rumors we've heard is there's a 2-month hiring freeze or no recruiting until Workday goes live. Absolutely not that. We are really going to try to keep as much possible as, the same as we can, business as normal. Know that the start dates in June, again, are June 8th and June 29th. I'm going to turn it over to I believe, Tammy and Matt, who are going to provide you with some scenarios that will help you think through or kind of see how this will all play out. Tammy and Matt?
Thank you, Molly. So we will run through a faculty hire, staff hire, and student employee hire, so you can see these dates in action and how this will work for us over the next couple months. So scenario number one is a new faculty hire, an open search. So today's March 17th, so tomorrow, March 18th, HR business partners and consultants will communicate hiring deadlines to unit leaders and hiring managers. So this is really still business as usual, this first part. I want to really underline that fact. So March 30th, a dean or chair identifies a staffing need for an open faculty search, contacting an HR consultant. Early in mid-April, again, this is business as usual. The HR consultant, recruiter, or hiring manager submits an HRA or PCS, a new position request according to your college's or unit's deadline. April 29th, that is the last day to get the position over to the compensation so it can be approved, so it can be posted on People Admin. Now, I want to just say real quickly, if you're also using something like Academic Jobs Online, you will still be able to post on that site if needed. May 2nd is the last day for new positions to be posted via the existing process on People Admin. Now, option one is if you find a candidate or you're wrapping up another faculty search. Again, this is business as usual. Enter the hire HRA by May 29th. If you do not have candidates by then and you want to keep the job posting up and keep recruiting and post it through the Workday transition, then the recruiter or HR consultant should disposition unqualified candidates for a more active candidate list. Now, I know a lot of faculty positions would still be collecting applicants at this time, and that is fine. But the less candidates we can put through this process, the better. So moving to June 13th through 21st, when PeopleSoft HR is unavailable, but People Admin remains up, Enterprise Project Team will convert open positions to Workday. Recruiter will contact active candidates with instructions to reapply in Workday starting June 24th. Now, I know that's not ideal, especially in the faculty world, having folks potentially apply twice, but we did take our time and talk with other universities and businesses, and this is best practice, and it will make our lives a lot easier in the long run. And then starting June 24th, the posting is up in Workday and candidates will be applying through our new recruitment process. Tammy?
Thanks, Matt. I'm going to walk you through a staff hire or transfer. If you start at the beginning of the roadmap here, we'll go to late March when a hiring manager identifies the staffing need and contacts their HR consultant. We move to early to mid-April. The HR consultant, recruiter, or the hiring manager enters their HRA or submits a requisition through the position control system for the Wexner Medical Center to request a job rec. We go through the recruitment process. Last day of April 29th to enter the position for posting and to key the job requisition. Just to be clear there, the last day is April 29th to enter the position for posting and advertising. In early to mid-May, an internal candidate is offered the position. They want to start work on June 22nd. The recruiter or hiring manager offers the June 8th or 29th as a potential start date to work here at Ohio State in their new role. They select June 8th. So prior to May 29th, an HRA is entered for that hire or a green action on the medical center side to complete the transfer. This is approved for the service center and entered into PeopleSoft. And let's look at a new staff hire as well. So on June 1st, the Wexner Medical Center nurse manager requests a critical care nurse. The PCS system is down, so they're not able to complete the normal process for requesting a job requisition. In turn, that recruiter uses their alternative recruiting options, such as various nursing career sites or People Admin. The original job requisition did not make it in time for the deadline to post in PeopleSoft and will not be converted to Workday. That means the TA consultant will work with their manager to explain how to post the position within Workday, and in turn, if they have found individuals that are qualified for this position, they'll instruct those candidates to apply in Workday and send them a link to that particular job requisition. So starting on June 24th, the hiring manager creates that job rec in Workday, and the TA consultant contacts the active candidates to apply. And let's take a look now at the student employee scenario. Again, we'll start at the beginning of the roadmap here. Come April 16th, the hiring manager identifies a staffing need and they contact human resources consultant. Within HR, they submit the HR consultant creates a position, or the Wexner Medical Center uses the position control system and request a job rec. You will advertise the same ways that you have before, if it's using Buckeye Link on the campus side, if it's using PeopleSoft. Prior to May 29th, a hire HRA is completed, or a green action or new hire data form is approved within PeopleSoft. The hires up to and including June 8th will be processed in PeopleSoft. Hires for June 29th and after will be processed in Workday. Student hires should not occur between the dates of the 9th and the 28th, as we discussed earlier in the call. Come June 1st, hiring manager identifies a staffing need by contacting their HR consultant, who then communicates to the manager that non-critical jobs will not be posted until after Workday goes live. So they've passed that deadline that we've referenced a couple of times. What happens is when Workday goes live on June 24th, the manager goes in and creates a job requisition within Workday. The HR consultants as well as the TA department will support them in how they go about doing that. I hope this was a helpful review of how to hire a new student employee. Matt, if you want to review the dates again.
Sure, thank you, Tammy. Again, the last day to create a job rec via the existing process will be April 29th. To post job recs created from the standard process, the last day on the at the university via People Admin will be the 2nd of May, and at Wexner Medical Center via PeopleSoft will be the 4th. The last day to enter final approved personnel changes in HRA, Green Action, and PCS will be May 29th. Applicants applying to the Wexner Medical Center will be May 29th as well. Now, again, people admin will remain up in collecting applicants through this time and after the 29th. Last date to start as a monthly employee in order to be paid on June 30th will be the 8th of June. The last day to process payroll will be the 9th. And we are asking for all recruiting to be complete through the offer at the Wexner Medical Center by the 9th as well.
Thanks, Matt and Tammy, for sharing that. So as we think about next steps and where we're going from here, as I mentioned earlier, we're finalizing questions come in, and some of those are already on our FAQ list. So you'll be seeing those hopefully tomorrow. We've had to come up with a couple different decisions and finalize some of those. So hopefully you'll see at least the start of our FAQs tomorrow. You'll also have a copy of this presentation shared points for you. So we are encouraging you to share this information with your managers as well. You know, these messages are critically important, and if you have any to reach out to any of us. We are here to talk through these with you, to answer any of your questions and help you, you know, think through FAQs and certainly processes. Our plan is to regularly communicate updates with, you know, William's guidance and support. A detailed communications plan has been developed.
I think we lost audio for MollyDriscoll.
Can you hear?
Now we can, Molly.
Okay, sorry. I just went, I'm not sure when you guys lost me, but you know, we are finalizing our FAQs. We will let you know when those come out. We had a couple decisions that still needed to be made, but we've got many of the questions that you've answered. You know when and where we post them, so that you have access to those. We are also building out some talking points for you to share with your teams and your managers. These dates, this information is critically important. So if you have any questions or would like for us to work with you individually, senior human resource business professionals have also been through this presentation and are well equipped to help you with this as well. Our plan is to regularly communicate our updates, and with William's guidance, William, would you like to share a little bit more about that?
Hey everyone, thanks Molly. I'll quickly summarize what I think Molly was trying to communicate with going in and out of some of her audio, but our goal is to prepare and support our HR and payroll community as much as possible and to give you resources to help communicate this information to your leaders and your hiring managers. To that goal, we have developed some talking points and email template language for HR business partners and consultants to use starting as soon as this week. Our goal is to finalize that today, and our plan is to send it out to the HR business partners to start using those resources. And those are templates in terms of content to use, knowing that your unit's deadlines in order to make these university-wide deadlines may vary by each unit. So those resources will be coming today, in addition to the FAQs that Molly has referenced. After that information, well, really after this session, we are going to add these dates and deadlines to the online workday calendar. We wanted to make sure that we got this group aware and informed of these dates before we shared them university-wide on that calendar. So you won't see those just yet, but our goal is to add those by the end of the day so you can reference those back too. And we'll likely be adding those specific FAQs to each calendar item for its corresponding date, so you can have some resources there. We will then share a link to the calendar and an on-campus today or OSU Health Beat article by the end of the month, which would give you all some time to do some local unit communications and outreach before there's anything pushed university-wide with those dates. With that, I will turn it back over to, I believe, Tracy, who will help us moderate any questions that are coming in from the chat.
Sure, thank you. We definitely had quite a few in there, and I tried to answer several. And some of you did just submit questions to the panelists. There is a toggle there for questions to all panelists and attendees. That's why my answer may have looked to be answering no question because you didn't see that. But going back through here, we did want to, there were several questions with regards to common start dates and following the biweekly pay schedule. Molly, will there be a more specific communication on what those dates are, particularly for those managers that may not have biweekly employees?
Yes, I hope you guys can hear me. I apologize, I seem to be going in and out, but there will be very specific dates coming out as part of the FA. Share those with you as soon as possible.
Great, thank you. There was also a question with regards to many of the candidates will be in different phases of the recruitment process. Some have already been offered, others may be in the background check phase. And will there be more detailed information coming out with regards to how to address those specific situations? Molly or Tammy?
Yes, we'll have additional communication coming out on that with the focus on those that have already been offered the position, and then details on how to handle those that are still in that interview process but are potential candidates for us.
All right, great, thank you. There were also a few questions with regards to items that were maybe are not specific to the recruiting process with regards to faculty pay, schedule and appointment dates, and we will address those separately. So I'm looking at the chat here. The FAQs, I'm assuming there was a question here about those templates that are going to HR Business Partners. All of the materials today will go to the HR Business Partners and will be shared with the HR community. Intermittent employees and common start dates. If they are scheduled to actually start in their intermittent appointment? That is a good question. Tammy or Matt or Deb, would you like to take that one?
Tracy, could you repeat the question, please?
Sure. It is when we have intermittent employees who are starting in that they're brand new intermittent employees. They typically start on off days due to that being an intermittent appointment. So do we need to start them on an actual common start date?
We are encouraging their start date to be similar, so to be on a common start date. But if Molly's volumes work in, please add additional insight.
Yes, we are. Tammy is correct. We are encouraging people to start, and it's every Monday on the university side. It will be, except for Monday, June 22nd. So after June 29th, it'll be every Monday. We are encouraging that, but we'll answer that question certainly in more detail in our FAQs.
So there is also a question here with regards to, in one of the scenarios, that the first day hiring managers may create job requisitions and workday will be June 24th. So Tammy, can you confirm
Sure.
that?
So Workday goes live June 22nd. We're giving hiring managers the opportunity to get through some of that training and to get the information that they need with the projected date of them getting in there and entering the new job requisitions on the 24th. I don't know if that answered your question, if that was Stephanie. Thank you.
I think we do have quite a few questions with regards to the common start date, and we'll make sure that the FAQ and also just future communications on common start dates are clear, whether it's for the intermittents employees or those individuals that may need to start on a weekend. Which I think that, you know, the talent acquisition consultants and working with managers will need to work through those situations.
And I can just speak to that, you know, kind of quickly is, you know, common start dates, we are trying to implement after June 29th, but there certainly will be some flexibility because at this time it is any sort of university-wide orientation, again, on the university side or the campus side. So there certainly will be some flexibility with those common start dates. We just are encouraging.
So yes, we are definitely encouraging to follow that schedule as the main, but there will be situations that may cause it to be outside of that. So I know Molly dropped off there. Another question that was not covered today, but looking at future state, that currently it varies across campus, but at least on the campus side, or varies across the university, but on the campus side, we post our positions starting on a Saturday. Will we continue to post all new jobs each Saturday, or will that be at a different cadence, like on a Monday? And Tammy, we are scheduled to have those start on a Monday, correct?
Correct.
So yeah, and that will be University and Med Center at the same time with the same career site, future state.
Great, and we do have other suggestions in our chat. Thank you so much for putting them in there with regards to what to include in the FAQ if appropriate, or if in a different venue. What other questions do you guys have at this time? Please feel free to post them in the chat. Okay, well, please feel free to, again, reach out to individuals that may have presented on this call. However, we do intend to send out the FAQ and other related information regarding the recruit to hire dates as we go through this very busy hiring season of spring as we transition to Workday. So thank you all for being on the call today. Appreciate your time, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.